Time will start now.
Imagine that an entire society was oppressing you and going against you. That you felt that you were all alone and the only person in the entire world that had to fight against that injustice. That would be incredibly demotivating, as I think anyone can agree. But luckily, according to a quote by Cleopatra Tatabel, we don't have to do it alone. As she states, our strength is in our community. Now, what this quotation means is that when we work together, we can accomplish great things and overcome almost any obstacle put in our path. And I believe this for two main reasons. The first is that when we are together in community with others, we can make our voices heard to a magnitude that could not be previously possible before. And the second reason is that when we work together in community with others, we can learn and grow from others' viewpoints, therefore strengthening our own movements. The first point being that we can better make our voices heard can be seen through multiple historical examples. At first, the civil rights protests were a small movement where individuals would, for example, have sit-ins where they would sit in at bars to protest the unjust systemic racism in American society. While those individuals were in a small group at first, their numbers eventually grew to massive protests and marches, such as the one in Washington, that brought the issue to the attention of the entire nation. Additionally, we can see these examples in the revolution of Latin American countries from Spanish colonialism, where the individuals who are oppressed, coming from different backgrounds, such as the slaves who came from Africa and the oppressed Native Americans who had their roots in South America, these different groups were able to work together in community to fight towards a shared goal of going against an oppressive regime. The second point is that we can grow and learn from each other when we work together in community. For example, a bunch of different people working together can complement each other's viewpoints. We see this, for example, in the civil rights movements, where there were large amounts of white civil rights activists. These individuals at first probably did not experience or live through the same things that the oppressed African American population did at the time. But by being involved in the movement and by having discourse and learning from them, by being involved in the same community as the oppressed and marginalized group, they were able to make meaningful contributions to that movement by understanding the struggle of the people affected by it, and were therefore able to put forth much greater change. To bring it back to the quote by Cleopatra, our strength is in our community. No one can be expected to fight systemic prejudice or systemic racism or overthrow a colonial government all on their own. And oftentimes, it feels like we're isolated. There's a bunch of different groups of people that want the same thing, but we're all different. And that's where it is important to have strength in community, to have strength in community with others that are the same as us and others that are different from us. Because ultimately, through community is how we gain the strength to make a true change in the world.